know what, I think we'll switch to the big guns to just finish up this encounter here while we're at it. And let's see what acquirement has in store for us here today. What do you see fit to hand our way? Staff of Earth is, I guess, okay. It does give us better spell power with our current spells here, so fair enough. Greg's Folio of the Charnel Band. The crazy thing about that is I don't remember writing a book. So is this a book from future Greg? Sent back to us through the time and space continuum, maybe? Game doesn't want us to have dex. Yeah, with that amulet here, another artifact that's minus dex. At least this one's int +5, so again, that's, even though I don't give a dang about faith when you're worshipping Vehumet, int +5 is not a bad, just kind of stat stick. Or the equivalent, the necklace equivalent form of a stat stick, I guess. But okay, let's see. What's in this book from the future? Next mutation in some guardian golem? Meh. I'd say meh on both fronts, probably. Oof. Well, you know, not the best acquirement scroll. Very much more in the vein of their much more oft used name of Scrolls of Disappointment, but I'm not going to complain too much. I guess Staff of Earth we could at least take. I don't have any use for the money. Spellbook seems kind of trashed here, so sure. Let's take a Staff of Earth just for funsies. It's thematically appropriate, and maybe we'll end up using it to boost our spell power on our current spells. I mean, Iron Shot does have a really high ceiling here, only at 48%, even when we're at the point where, like, Shatter is very much a potential reality for us. So, you know, with that in mind, could definitely be worth it. Even getting Shatter up to just an absurd level of power could be really nice. So I'm not going to look on it with too much disdain. May come in handy, may not, and regardless, we will continue to live on and we will continue to be happy in doing such. So not the end of the world. And hello, my spider friends. Very interesting to see you after Spider being one of our S branches. Very thematically appropriate to kind of keep in with the general swing of things here. Spellforge Servitor, if you could, perfect. At least kill one of them was all I really wanted from you, my friend, and you managed to achieve that with flying colors, might I add. Just wonderful work. Beautiful. And a bunch of ogres. I feel like this could very quickly take a sudden and dramatic turn for the worse, so I do want to be cautious of that. Hey, VODs, thank you so much for the Prime subscription, my friend. Always appreciate it. Also or not even also, but more so even. Lovely to see you. Always happy to have your name drop on by. I hope things are going well, my friend. What to do with all of these new buddies? Oh, and a Lindworm to join in for my troubles. What fun and excitement that has in store. We'll stay away from the Mark Trap. Let's not get too silly with things here for the moment. And there we go. We've managed to kind of settle into a bit of a state here. Hopefully enough to just start fighting back against the powers that be. In fact, definitely bring back the Spellforge Servitor as soon as they desummoned here. Fantastic. And that should be just... Ooh, I was gonna say just about it, and then immediately came to regret those potential words. So let's read a fear and get the heck out of Dodge. Holy moly. Not great, friends, not great. Same with you, been another good Sunday. I'm glad to hear it for sure. Things are definitely going well on my end. Busy, tiring, but that's all fantastic in my mind, especially since I would very much rather be swamped and slightly stressed than bored and have nothing to do. So can't complain at the end of the day. I'm very happy with how things have been at recently. So thank you, thank you. And okie dokie, let's get immediately back into the thick of things, taking a really bad hit from that initial Yaktar. Ooh, and now this buddy is also something I've been very concerned about this entire time. We don't have cold resistance. Fortunately, we do have a lot of damage though, so we are able to just blast them into next week, and that goes surprisingly well at the end of the day. I do have 2 pips of fire vulnerability when I'm wearing this this ring, so I should be cognizant of that. Probably should just take it off as soon as I possibly can, seeing as how being cognizant of that is a very optimistic and ambitious state. I feel like historically I've not achieved anything even remotely close to that, and instead just foolishly found myself getting murdered in embarrassing fashion sooner more often than not. So with that in mind, we'll play with a bit of precaution here, try to in advance play things a little bit closer to the chest, and so far that's working out for us wonderfully. Again, not saying much, I am just, you know, still alive, which I would hope so by this stage. And there we go, I should definitely put on the fire resistance, getting us at least to neutral. Still not great, but better than it otherwise might be. Ooh, and a bone dragon is terrifying, but we should be able to take them out. Again, Spellforce Servitor, very much the MVP of the party here so far. Fantastic stuff. And you know what? That Convoker is getting off the Convocation. I hate to say it, hate to admit it, but I think it is an unfortunate reality of our situation. Ooh, and let's head up to this stairwell, especially if we're going to meet a troll friend on the way in unexpected fashion, then we should definitely try to play this a little bit on the safe side. Spellforce Servitor, how dare you dodge something and let it come through to me? I mean, fair enough, self-preservation is I mean, not a human right, but magical construct right? I mean, I feel like maybe there's not enough magical construct rights being discussed in this world, if we're being completely fair and honest. There we go. Can you kind of step around trying to body block with your centaur friend? You wouldn't possibly shoot your brother in the face now, would you? Could you? Fortunately, it does not seem to be the case. They do have a heart after all. And so we just immediately take full advantage of that and ruin their entire lives. So that is beautiful. Just fantastic work on our part. Love to see it. And then we'll just blast through the rest of you sons of guns. I don't like an invisible Bogart, but fortunately, once again, bring them into our halo and it's not so much of a problem. Holy moly, Vaults has not been a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. It's been a rough go at things, to say the least. Hopefully, that's on the downfall here. We're going to get a little bit more comfortable as time goes on, but unfortunately, I don't think I can make any such promises. So, just going to have to fly by the seat of our pants and see how everything comes out in the wash here. Ancestor rights too, woefully under-considered. Well, especially back in the day, before HEP ancestors were unhittable by your own character. Truly atrocious things were committed in the sake of survival. Fortunately, they at least now have some ability to not be horrendously taken advantage of, so that's nice. Holy moly, these sons of guns definitely hurt a great deal. Fortunately able to close the gap in the last minute there, but let's not do that again. That was definitely closer to death than I otherwise would have cared to see. fantastic. I mean, bunch of skeletons, I don't mind whatsoever. With our Holy Wrath weapon, we're able to just absolutely annihilate these sons of guns without a care in the world. Now, unfortunately, these buddies are very much a care in the world, especially a heavy battle axe. I feel like might take the wind out of my sails here faster than I would like to think. But fortunately, Spellforge Servitor just doing an incredible bit of work there. Definitely taking all of the heavy lifting off of my plate, which is fantastic. And not too shabby. Roka? Just orcs hanging out, or Roka? One or the other. Oh my gosh, more orcs? So, it's gotta be Roka, right? Apparently not, or so it would seem. But regardless, continue to let our Spellforge Servitor do all of the heavy lifting for us, and we make it through in one piece so far, so that is just fantastic. Also turns out that summoning our servitor directly onto a mark trap, not too bad. I was very concerned for a moment there, but fortunately they don't immediately trigger it. Instead, it is the action of actually stepping on to said trap that is the potential travesty. So there we go. We work through our mark trap without too much care in the world, so that's fine. And centaurs are always so sneaky, right? They're sneaky, and they're also too fast, man. Jeez Louise. Rough shot at things. But does Stone Meld work on those walls? Like, do you mean pass wall? I think so. I think pass wall works on any... Huh. For science. Pass through solid rock, take some time. Oh, I guess no. It would have to not work on it, right? It would have to not work, because otherwise you could just cheese the ever-living crap out of, like, Zot 5. Huh. You know, I probably have more amnesia than I'll ever need. Aren't next to any passable walls. There we go. Yeah, definitely, that should have clicked a little sooner for me, that would be horrendously overpowered if it was able to pass through there. So no, in fact, does not work on those walls, unfortunately. I'll probably still keep that spell around. I know I glibly mentioned our amnesia counts as being satisfactory to not have to worry about it, but it might actually come in handy. Could even save our life in the future, so I don't mind having it stick around for the moment here for the time being. And again, outsource all of the labor and important work to our servitor. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your contributions to the adventuring party here, as it were. Beautiful. Spell name needs a revisit then, not quite living up to the advertisement. You know, I've never thought about it that way, but you do have a point. In fact, I think we are very much in our rights, and in fact maybe even in our responsibilities to take it to the man there and get some retribution for all the poor souls that have fallen victim to the misrepresentation of their ability to pass through stone. Truly horrendous stuff. Oh my gosh, and fortunately our warden friend steps into the calcifying mist, so we will just get them murdered in good old-fashioned here immediately. Fantastic. Class action lawsuit for all the lives lost, at the very least, right? Truly the only justice we may hope to see in this world. So that's our goal. As soon as we get out of here with the Orb of Zot in hand, which of course we will, seeing as how we are invincible god gamers who never didn't have it. So with that in mind, we'll get them good in the end here. Just as soon as we've finished with this current lot, shall we? And so for Servitor, if you could just do a little bit more of the heavy lifting here, I'd appreciate it, my friend. Thank you kindly. Unfortunately, not so thankful that I'm not going to strand you on the other side of a closed door with a dire elephant on your tails, but you know, that's how our friendship works. It's a different kind of rapport that we have, you and I. I've always said this without your consent or permission, because I'm an adventurer, so what can I say? We are not great people, as a rule, I'd say. Hello, my Tengu Reaver friend. Now, this is definitely another problem. We don't have any resistances, so to speak, so... Oof. Don't love that. I guess maybe best bet is to just start, spitting out toxic levels of radiation. In fact, might be our only real option for the moment here. I do really want Spellforge Servitor though. Oh gosh. For better or for worse. 2 willpower, 2 willpower, 3 willpower. So Fear Scroll's probably not going to cut it. I kind of forgot I don't have any blink, so this was a silly circumstance to put myself into. Your spells are probably going to kill me. 56 weapon damage is rough, probably going to kill me. And 40 plus another 15. You guessed it, folks. Probably going to kill me. So, do we go for the fear and hope against hope that it manages to slip through here? I don't think rage is the option, even though that's the other thing that comes to mind. If I can't blink out of here anyway, if I just turn into a tree, this gives me some HP and better armor class. I guess only better by 5 for armor class, which is not incredible by any stretch. I also never realized that I didn't go back to my willpower ring at any point, so I've just been la-ti-da prancing about without a care in the world, when that is potentially a horrifically dangerous situation to find myself in. Ishk. 1 willpower pip is not exactly ideal. But do I just take a step to the bottom left? Tengu might have a shot at us. Ideally, our Spellforge Servitor annihilates them with a well-placed Crystal Spear. I could also just chug health, but I don't think that's the option. Moving down here at least causes only one of these two to be able to attack me. So we're going to see what happens. Still alive, doing science, and I'm... There we go. Oh, Vault Warden died. Oh, geez. 14 health. Oh, no, and a Yaktar. A Yaktar in from the rear here. I don't like that. Dire Elephant is the one that I can't fear away. Oh, me oh my. Yeah, I think what has my issue with Butterfly is that it needs the 1 turn. But it might be our only real option here. We have to hope that the Dire Elephant doesn't kill me. 74% chance to hit. 40 and 15, we may be able to roll down. But yeah, while it's in the 3 of them, I think you're on the right track with Butterfly. And in fact, maybe, you know, seeing how this went down, maybe I should have instead risked the Butterfly. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this son of a gun coming from up here. Oh no. Oh, Greg. Oh, my sweet baby boy, Greg. I don't think I have a shot at surviving this. Maybe if I still had that blink, I could like blink next to you, hope they're not more next to you, which is not a very good hope, seeing as how they do travel in herds. Oof. I can still get lucky, I guess, so that's nice. Question is, where do we find that perfect balance point of luck and mitigation? Because I'd like to teleport, but teleporting right now I think is basically a guaranteed death. Between the hits from these two, this son of a gun shooting me, there's like no shot I survive that, right? Spellforge Servitor might kill one of these two. in it, like, immediately here. You know, if there is some hope in this gosh forsaken world. I guess maybe Fear's my best bet. You're going to be unaffected. You're probably going to be unaffected, but might get the Tengu off my back. Will get the Yaktar off my back. Probably going to die anyway, so let's just go for it, shall we? Oh, it does get the Dire Elephant. Okay. 5 on your Bolt of Draining. So I read Teleport. Take me away. Holy moly, folks. Jeez Louise. Okay, get me the heck out of Dodge, but hey, never say die. Greg is invincible, I think. The only explanation really at the end of the day, as I almost died to a single Yaktar captain immediately afterwards. Beautiful work, me. Fantastic. Way to go, Greg, indeed. And no way that Fear hit the elephant. Sometimes you just have to believe. 3 pips of willpower, not enough, you son of a gun. Get absolutely rolled. But okie dokie. Hopefully, we can take care of the rest of these sons of guns without too much issue here. There are no promises by any stretch of the imagination. And if I could just annihilate you before you convoke anyone, that would be great. Thank you. This Convoker is now hiding behind their friend, which I don't like. We do have Quicksilver, so we can at least try to pull some fancy maneuver like that. Fantastic. That's something I generally forget to do on my own, so I'm very happy that it just happened to come to the forefront of our mind here. I gotta use Quicksilver wands more often in general, I think it's a mechanic that I oftentimes don't take full advantage of. But fortunately, this is not one of those oft times, and so we managed to continue moving up and at him here. There we go, we hit all of our current caps. I guess more Earth Magic might be the way to go. At least a little bit more, even if just for thematic reasons we can turn you on. 2% on Shatter though, so that's fully castable. I guess some more spell power would give us some additional spell levels. Is there anything I would just get rid of straight up? Did it say I had 5 spell levels, right? So I need 4 to free up. Mephitic Cloud, no longer in use. IMB could potentially go, even though I do like it as a utility spell at any stage in the game. So that's a little bit tougher for me to say goodbye to. Where'd I get that mace? We picked it off of Arug in D10, so it was an early Arug, and I think we kind of lucked out. We had Iron Shot early on, so we were able to kill them in an otherwise terrifying encounter. But yeah, it came to us as a +5 right off the rip, so definitely pretty wonderful. And then we just had to use a few scrolls to max it out here, which was lovely. But yeah, maybe Mephitic Cloud, maybe Sandblast. And I changed Stone Arrow to be kind of my base level main squeeze. Yar to Mephitic, and Yar to Sandblast. Let's learn Shatter, even just so we can at least achieve our goals before we find ourselves in a situation like a few moments ago where I, of course, never don't have it and all of that good stuff. But, you know, if for whatever reason the fates decided to forsake us and we shockingly came to a complete and sudden death, definitely not from our own ignorance or stupidity, but only unfairness and RNG, of course, then we can at least be prepared for that, shall we? So we have one more floor of vaults that we could delve into here. We could head out to regular depths as well. Definitely not doing super great in vaults, and I feel like we've been fairly lucky in regards to like the number of vault sentinels marking us, as well as the number of wizards that are potential banishment risks. You know, I'm not too sure, but what I am a bit more sure about, that I think we will take this as just the briefest of opportunities to take a short break. I'm gonna run out for a refill for my glass, maybe run to the washroom real quick, and then we'll either head into Vaults 4, or we'll switch gears here, head into Depths, and see how far along we can get. I don't know if it continues at this pace. I don't know if we can finish this run today, just because it has been a bit of a slower one, which was weird because I feel like the first part of this session, you know, in kind of the last hour of last week, went super fast relative to my normal glacial pace. But unfortunately, it's been a little bit tougher today. But regardless, we will see how far we can get to today. Maybe, just maybe, things will speed up now that we have Shatter online. But who's to say what's in store for us? So don't go anywhere, and I'll be back in just a few moments here. I'll see you in a sec. Okie dokie. Got faith in Greg? Me too. What else? Me too. Did I pop into Elf already? Could look into some enchanted glove cloak helm stuff. We have not popped into Elf. I guess my one hesitancy on that is that unfortunately this character is specifically lacking in resistances and willpower. So I think we'd be in for a bit of a an interesting endeavor at the very least. Making it our way through Elf, but you are right that it would also be an opportunity to offset some of those current weaknesses. So we'll have to see how the next wee bit goes, and that's a potential option. At least it would be a little bit... Nope, I'm just gonna leave. Also, hi St. Roko, we were just talking about you earlier, my friend. At least is a little bit weaker, yeah, across the board, so potentially is an option for us. Ooh, and speaking of options for us, I would very much like to get my hands on that blinking scroll as soon as possible. And let's bring our upward servitor into the mix here. There we go, and definitely need to make room for this son of a gun. I guess Amnesia can probably drop, seeing as how we've largely gotten the use that we want out of it already here, so that's fantastic. Oh, and I should not be tab fighting into a wizard. That's how you get banished into the Abyss, kids. Do as I say and not as I do, because I play like a fool, but I like to think I at least have the an air of confidence, undeserved confidence, I should say, of somebody who actually knows what the heck they're doing, so I can at least kind of fake the talk as far as that is concerned. But fantastic. There we go. We do manage to take out St. Roca. No real problems when it's a little bit more of a reasonable engagement. So that's fantastic. And we will rinse and repeat. I guess what we could do, so let's get our first shatter out here, shall we? Should annihilate all these sons of guns. We do even break the stone walls, which I always kind of forget about when it's been a hot minute since I cast any shatter shenanigans. So that is wonderful. And let's get away from set walls, shall we? In fact, let's just start shattering maybe a little more generously than we otherwise should, seeing as how we don't have that much magic power, and it does make a whole heck of noise, to say the least. But it is just fun to see. It's been too long, I feel. Magic does hit that 25. Probably don't need it much higher than that. I mean, it might be nice to take off my wizardry ring. Maybe we'll experiment a bit with that and see where we're sitting in a moment here. Otherwise, sure, some like fighting could be nice.